It's important to clarify that not all tech companies engage in stealing private data. However, concerns about data privacy and security have arisen due to incidents involving data breaches, unauthorized access, and misuse of personal information by some companies. Here are some ways through which private data can be compromised. Data collection and sharing practices. Some tech companies may collect more data than users are aware of, and this data might be shared with third parties without clear consent. This can include personal information, browsing history, location data, and more. User agreement loopholes. Many users agree to terms and conditions without fully understanding the implications. Some tech companies might use vague language or complex legal terms to hide the extent to which they collect and use personal data. Third-party apps and services. Some apps and services request excessive permissions or access to personal data that isn't necessary for their functionality. This can lead to unauthorized data collection. Data breaches. Even well-intentioned companies can fall victim to data breaches, where hackers gain unauthorized access to sensitive information. This can result in the exposure of private data. Lax security measures. Inadequate security practices within a company's infrastructure can make it easier for malicious actors to gain access to user data. Misuse of data. Sometimes, collected data might be used for purposes beyond what users originally consented to. This can include targeted advertising, profiling, and even manipulation. Weak encryption. If a company stores user data without proper encryption, it can be easier for hackers to decipher and steal the information. Insider threats. Employees within a tech company may misuse their access to sensitive data or inadvertently expose it. To protect your private data, read privacy policies. Take the time to understand what data a company collects and how it's used. Avoid services with overly broad data collection practices. Use privacy settings. Configure the privacy settings of apps and services to restrict the amount of data shared. Limit permissions. Only grant necessary permissions to apps and services. Be cautious of apps that request access to unrelated data. Use strong, unique passwords. Use strong, unique passwords for each online account to minimize the impact of data breaches. Enable two-factor authentication. Two-FA whenever possible. Enable two-FA to add an extra layer of security to your accounts. Regularly update software. Keep your operating system, apps, and devices up to date with the latest security patches. Use privacy-focused services. Opt for services from companies known for their strong data protection practices. Monitor account activity. Regularly review your account activity for any signs of unauthorized access. If you suspect a tech company is mishandling private data, it's important to report your concerns to relevant authorities or consumer protection agencies.